Yo, what is going on, guys? Just wanted to come on here to give a check-in and kind of go over some of the notes that I've kind of noticed throughout the week. Where it was mainly throughout like the first couple of days before I bought in that new system. But um, yeah, I didn't really trade that Friday. Um, I don't know if we traded that Thursday, but yeah, I didn't really want to trade that Friday, just because the stats would have been fucked up for the week, just because of the amount of trade I took, in the beginning of the week. So I was kind of like just um, relaxing and spending time with my girl, um, seeing a couple of friends of mine. So it was, so it was kind of a relaxing week this week, just so we could reset the stats for the week coming, which is starting from today. It's currently 1:47 a.m. So today is a Monday. Why am I up so late? I don't know. Can't sleep. So here I am. Um, but we are here now. We're making the video, and yeah. Again, with I thought about it this way, like, see how we took a win on Wednesday and we took a loss on Thursday. So with that win, we had a 1 to 2 something like that. And if we only took two trades throughout the week, right, within a 1 hour time frame, so that means we only would have taken two trades throughout the week and we still would have been up, right? So if we thought about the other times where I've been trading and um it's been taking multiple trades every single day. The setup becomes worse and worse after every single trade. That's why we implemented the system of um, finding a setup within a 1 hour time frame and within a 1 hour. And if I don't find something within 1 hour, it's time to wrap it up and call it a day and not trade. Just so we can have solid stats throughout the week, collecting data on our strategy, and also working on our psychology as well, making sure that we're sticking to that one trade a day, um, and things like that. So yeah, again, we technically would have been up throughout the week, but again, with the amount of trades that were taken on Monday or Tuesday, or I think Monday and Tuesday, we weren't able to, where our data is kind of inaccurate in terms of what we really should have got throughout the week. So just want to jump on here to give a couple of notes on some of the things I noticed. So so we made a note on focusing on A plus setups, right? Um, so the note I have is waiting for a breakout on the lower time frame structure, then catching a continuation instead of trying to trade the breakout sitting in chop. Therefore, lower probability conditions are super important. So what I mean by this is that we can catch the break on the lower time frame. Let's say if we are in a 15-minute order block or whatever, and we wait for that 1 minute break of structure to the upside, right? Breaking a previous high, and then waiting for a pullback into it, we're more likely to be more probable on the catching that continuation rather than catching waiting for a reaction from that 50-minute zone to us being fucking flopped just because the 1 minute is still bearish. So if we wait for the 1 minute to flip, wait for the retest, right, and then catch a continuation up there, I've noticed that it's more, the trades get more less, just because majority of the time, price doesn't actually come to retest that area, but it's just something that we're gonna have to live with, um, because it's more probable for price to actually bounce off that 1 minute, after we get a 1 minute break of structure or change the character or whatever, and then we get um, and then we wait for a reaction. After we wait for a reaction, we get we wait for a pullback, a reaction, and then we're more happy to take a trade, right? So another point is when waiting for a setup, double check the high time frame has a flip structure. So what I mean by this is that we could be waiting for a 15-minute pullback into a bullish or bearish order block, and we get that pullback, but price is actually flip structure. Therefore, price at that point in time is either bullish or bearish, so it's flip structure on us. So, which means that we're now short term. The 15-minute is now in a pullback, right? So we just gotta wait for that pullback to end, and for price to break structure again. But again, it's one of those things where, I should be double checking when we are waiting on the 1 minute time frame. We are double checking that the 15-minute hasn't flipped on us. Um, and yeah, making sure that we're trading with direction and with bias as well as with momentum, right? Momentum meaning that structure is bullish or bearish within the way that we want to trade. So if we're looking for bullish, the 15-minute should be in a bullish internal structure, or at least in a bullish internal structure, because ideally the swing is bullish. Um, Wait for a 15-minute bullish PDRA, wait for 1 minute change of character, wait for a pullback into that range on the 1 minute, then be able to take a buy or a sell, or buy in the case of, because we are bullish. Um, the third, I mentioned giving room for stop loss so trade can breathe, right? With a tight stop loss, you're banking on only the fact that it breaks structure with momentum. If not, you're instantly lost, right? So what I've noticed as well is that having a tight stop loss, um, you're pretty much banking on the fact that um it breaks structure, because if it doesn't break, your trade is pretty much cooked on the 1 minute. If it doesn't break with the momentum, you're pretty much cooked. Um, so if we're waiting, right? If we get that slight pullback and price ends up sweeping those lows or high, or let's say lows, if we took a bullish trade, right, and we have, um, it just means that that structure previously before it broke, like let's say we tapped into a 15-minute PDRA, we broke 1 minute structure, right? Price makes a pullback, right, and it breaks like internal structure again. It doesn't break. It actually wicks it, or it gave a close above, but it wasn't a bullish momentum close, right? So um, therefore, it wouldn't be a true break of structure to me again, right? So what would that mean? That means that that pullback low that was made on that pullback is now being hunted, right? But if we put our stop loss at the true low, right, before where we originally broke structure on the 1 minute, we're more probable to prices more probable to hold that area. And again, just giving room for the trade to breathe, right? And yeah, again, not banking on the fact that we're waiting, and not banking on the fact that it breaks structure with momentum, right? Because once it breaks structure with momentum, you know that that structure is now valid, and that true low will be moved up again to that pullback low that was made, right? And the last point being still having a high slash low to go break even. So this kind of is implemented on the point before, was that though we have that pullback, and let's say we take a trade, we should still be going break even where we can, um, at those highs and lows that we'll put in, because ideally, if we do take a trade and we see that we get momentum, and price starts to reverse on us after taking out 1 minute or 5 minute highs or lows, it could reverse on us, and and take us out at our stop loss. And ideally, we don't want that, right? when we have momentum, we're looking to target that price area, but sometimes we get that reaction of that lower time frame highs or lows, which is okay. It just means that we have to protect ourselves by going break even. So yeah, those were the points that were I listed for last week. Again, we will have true stats from this week coming forward, which will be good. Just means that we're able to take that, one trade a day, finding that A plus setup every single day, rather than the way we used to backtest before was to trade as much as we can, get as many trades in, right? But I found myself, thinking that, hey, though we're taking a lot of trades, right? I feel like the trades that I take are not as good as the previous trades, right? So it's not as good as the first trade I took, right? And I feel like I'm just forcing trades, right? So this new system um will mean that um we are knocking kind of two birds with one stone sort of thing here. That it'll take a little bit longer, but it's part of the journey, and it's something that we continuously have to work on. So the two stones being, oh no, the two birds, two is it two birds with one stone, something like that. But anyways, the two birds being um psychology, so working on myself and how I'm reacting within the charts, and the second being strategy, right? Making sure that we have an edge, we have a proven edge in the markets, and that's something that we can manipulate, right? So again, we will continue to work on that, and yeah, this week coming forward, we're back on the grind, right? No more breaks. Not really a break, but kind of just waiting for this week to end so we can reset this, reset the stats. But yeah, those previous videos I posted before is kind of what the system that I'm looking at going forward from now on. So yeah, that's something that I'll be working on, and getting those videos out to you guys every single day. So tomorrow I'll be on night shift, so you guys will be getting that video every single day. So that way I'm on top of everything, and that way I'm able to trade, every single day, and you guys can hold me accountable as well. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for today's video. Kind of like a check-in, not really a recap for the week, but more of a check-in with you guys to let you guys know how I'm going and what the plan is going forward. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, wherever you guys are from. Have a good one. Stay blessed, right? God is good. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.